Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about how you can achieve your very first pull-up even if you're only training from home. If you're male or female, if you follow these simple tips, it's going to make everything super simple for you. Now, if you're new here, my name is Shannon from Shannon Billows Fitness, and on this channel we talk everything about weight loss, strength training, and making everything as easy as possible. So if you're interested in those kind of videos, consider subscribing and make sure you hit that like button if you get some value out of this video. Now, let's get to your first pull-up. Now, why would we want to be doing pull-ups in the first place? Performing a pull-up is a good test of strength. It's one of the main foundations of any strength training program. It's a part of the push, pull, squat, hip hinge, and overhead press. So it's one of your big 5 compound movements. And when it comes to the pull-up, I believe that everyone should be able to do at least one bodyweight pull-up without any assistance at all. Now, the method I'm going to take you through today, I've used with many clients in the past, and it's even how I achieved my very first pull-up, just training from home with no specialty equipment or anything like that. Before we get into the how, let's cover off some of the basics and the things that may be holding you back from getting a pull-up. Now, you probably want to lose some body fat to make your life much easier. Now, in the video I just did recently, at the top, I'm going to leave a pin. It's going to explain to you exactly where your waist should be for you to be at a healthy, lean body fat percentage. So if you're outside of these ranges, this is definitely one of the first places to look at, because every kilo or pound that you're not carrying is a kilo or pound less that you need to move up and down through space. Now, your grip position is going to make a massive difference in terms of getting your very first pull-up. You can use the overhand grip, then we have the underhand grip, and we also have the neutral grip. The neutral grip is a position that we're going to be using. This is going to put you into the strongest position, and it's going to cause the least amount of injuries and impingements in terms of elbow and shoulder pain. Another reason that people fail to get their pull-ups is they mess around with too many fluff type movements. And when I refer to fluff movements, I'm talking about things like seated rows, inverted rows, scapular retraction exercises, assistance band pull-ups, basically doing everything but actually performing pull-ups. Now, I know right now you can't do a pull-up, and that's okay. So we're going to take you through that step-by-step method in just a moment. But just know that you don't need any of these other exercises to perform your first pull-up. So it's very simple. All you're going to need is a pull-up bar. So the pull-up bar that I'm going to be using is an at-home attachment for your door. These are really cheap. You can pick these up for about maybe $30, $40, depending on where you live. They're really secure and sturdy, so they won't come apart. I highly recommend against the ones that sort of screw into the door. Those tend to fall out quite easily. Or you can even just use this method at your local gym if you have access to a gym as well. So provided you have a bar that you can pull yourself up with, we want to make sure that your hands can get into a neutral grip position, which means that your hands are facing each other. This is the strongest position that you can be in. Now, if you're going to be including your pull-ups into your current sessions you're already doing, you want to be replacing any back movements that you're currently doing, such as seated rows, inverted rows, with your pull-ups. Now, once you've replaced those, you want to put your pull-ups at the start of every single session that you're doing. As a bare minimum, you want to be doing pull-ups at least 3 sessions per week, which means if you're currently already doing 4 training sessions, at least 3 of those sessions you want to be doing pull-ups, and it wants to be the very first exercise that you do of each session. Now, the goal is to try and get at least 5 repetitions per set, and it's going to be a minimum of 3 sets. So what this is going to look like, as an example, is on Monday, if you're doing pull-ups at the start of the session, you're going to be doing pull-ups, 5 repetitions, you're going to have a break, pull-ups for another 5 repetitions, have a break, pull-ups for another 5 repetitions. Now, when you do take your break, make sure you're taking plenty of rest. We don't care about how high your heart rate gets. The only thing that we want to focus on is building proper strength for your pull-up and taking adequate rest so you're fully recovered for your next set when you're going to perform the pull-up again. Now, the rest time for most people is going to be around 2 up to 4 minutes. Now we're going to move on to your actual progressions for each pull-up. So the first progression that we're going to start with is the easiest, which is going to be an assisted pull-up using a chair or any type of bench that you have at your gym, and you're going to be making sure that both feet are on the bench with your hands in a neutral grip position. So you're going to start on top of the bench or chair. You're going to start with your shoulders touching the handles or as close as you can possibly get. Both feet are going to be on the bench, you're going to lower yourself down so your knees almost touch the floor or as close as you can get. And then to pull yourself up, you're going to use as much leg drive as you need. You're going to push yourself up so you can get your shoulders just to touch the handles. Now you're going to perform this for 5 repetitions. Now, if you can't perform 5 repetitions right now, that's okay. Let's say you only perform 2, then your main goal next session is to try and get 3. You always want to be bettering yourself from the last session. And again, this is why I recommend that you do track all of your weight training programs and progression. So once you can complete 3 sessions, 3 sets, 5 repetitions each, you would then move on to your next progression. The next progression is going to be a single leg assisted pull-up. Really similar to the first one. All we're going to do is start from the same position. This time you're going to drop one leg slightly in front, and then you're going to keep one leg on the bench. And this progression is going to work exactly the same. This is just going to make it a little bit more difficult because you don't have both legs now driving you up. You're only going to be using the assistance from one leg. Now, same again, once you can perform 3 sessions in that week, each session you're going to be performing 3 sets, and each set you want to achieve at least 5 repetitions. Once you can complete that, your next progression is going to be an eccentric pull-up. With the eccentric pull-up, I don't mind if you mix this in with your previous progression. Meaning, if on Monday you do a single leg assisted pull-up, and then on Wednesday you would do an eccentric pull-up, and then on Friday you would do a single leg assisted pull-up. You can alternate between these two on the last phase of the program. Now, the idea with your eccentric pull-up is you want to start in the very top position, you want to hold on to the neutral grip handles, and then you want to lower yourself down anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. Now, this is much harder than it looks. And the way this works is we are all stronger in the lengthening phase of most exercises. So this allows you to slightly overload your muscles, which allows you to get heavier and heavier progressions without you having to do the pull movement. And then if you can get better at the eccentric, you will definitely get stronger at the concentric, which is the phase where you contract your muscles and pull yourself up to the bar. Now, once you can comfortably manage anywhere from about 7 to 10 seconds on the eccentric phase, and you're getting at least 5 repetitions with the single leg pull-up, you are definitely welcome to try to start doing bodyweight pull-ups. Now, Shannon, what if I can't yet perform a single bodyweight pull-up? That's okay. We can still use the previous progressions and just make them slightly harder. Another way that you can make the single leg assisted pull-up harder is you can start shifting less and less of the pull-up power to your legs and more to the hands. So instead of using 50% drive on the legs and 50% pulling power to your hands, you might try and start shifting 90% to your hands and then 10% to your legs. This is also another progression within the same progression. And then with the eccentric pull-up, you can make this harder by making it longer. So you can go for 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Another progression on top of this is if you feel ready and you can't quite yet get your first bodyweight pull-up after completing the last 2 phases, you can add in an extra set per pull-up session. So instead of doing 3 sets of 5, you would do 4 sets of 5. So just to recap for you really simply, you're going to start with 2 legs, assisted pull-ups. You're going to then move on to single leg assisted pull-ups. From there, you're going to move into eccentric pull-ups, where you lower yourself down for 5 to 10 seconds per repetition. And then when you feel comfortable and ready, you can then start to try for your very first pull-up. If you have any more questions or concerns in terms of how to achieve your first pull-up, or if there was something in this video that didn't quite make sense, pop it in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.